Greetings, Exile. When this skill first dropped in 3.23, I was really intrigued, so I gave it a shot despite having zero experience with non-melee builds. Safe to say, it flopped hard. Then in 3.25, while most bleed skills got buffed, this one was completely ignored. No one other than me wanted to touch it, and somehow I even managed to take down all Ubers. Now, in 3.26, it finally got major buffs, yet still no one cares. The budget version of the build I made even got mocked as ZDPS and ZHP, which I took personally. So I dumped all my currency into it, crafted a mirror tier axe, and pushed the skill to its absolute limit, breaking the bleed cap on bosses and nearly reaching it on Ubers. So witness how a so-called trash skill can become the strongest bleed skill with crazy investment. Before we proceed further, I want to inform you guys that this is a two-part series, so if you're looking for a budget version of this build, check out my build idea video for it. That video also includes a bit more explanation regarding how the skill works and its core mechanics. Now, for this version, I've heavily leaned into the concept of faster bleeding. What's that, you might wonder? Faster bleeding does exactly what the name implies. Your bleed deals the same amount of damage just in a shorter duration, which results in more damage over time. Let me give you a simple example. As we know, the default duration of bleed is 5 seconds. So if you're dealing, say, 500 bleed damage over 5 seconds from a single hit, and you add 100% increased faster bleeding to your build, you'll now deal that same 500 damage over just 2.5 seconds instead. This mechanic can be further used to our advantage by also adding 100% increased bleed duration, which brings the total duration back to 5 seconds. This means you're now dealing 1000 bleed damage over 5 seconds from a single hit, thanks to the combination of faster bleeding and increased bleed duration. So in short, you want to maintain a healthy balance between faster bleeding and bleed duration. If you go too heavy on one and ignore the other, you'll end up needing to constantly reapply bleed, which is not optimal in most cases. So now that you know how faster bleeding works and how it can be used to your advantage, let's take a look at how it fits into this build. Blade Trap of Laceration inherently has 50% faster bleeding, which goes up to 60% with gem quality. But of course, that's not enough. We want even more. So I'm using Usurper's Penance unique helmet that grants 4% faster bleeding and damage over time multiplier per frenzy charge. To fully take advantage of this, I've stacked up to 11 frenzy charges from the sources displayed on screen, giving me a total of 44% increased faster bleeding. On top of that, I've picked up several faster bleeding nodes across the passive tree. And to balance all that faster bleed out with increased duration, I'm using Awakened Unbound Ailment support and cursing enemies with temporal chains, which brings my bleed duration back closer to default. This ensures we get the best of both worlds, faster application and longer uptime. Here's the full breakdown between faster bleeding and bleed duration. To push things even further, I've also converted all those frenzy charges into affliction charges using Olesia's Delight unique belt. Each affliction charge provides 8% more ailment damage, which gives us 88% more bleed damage in total from the 11 charges. And to make sure we don't lose the original effect of frenzy charges, I'm using Ralakesh's Impatience unique boots for frenzy charge. These provide us with the effect of maximum frenzy charges at all times, completely negating the downside. Let's start with our body armor. Replica Farrell's fur causes Aspect of the Cat to have no reservation, and also grants us maximum affliction and endurance charges all the time. The armor is double corrupted for +2 AoE gems and +2 trap gems. Finding this kind of double corrupt can be very difficult, so it is better to just get armor with +2 trap gems corrupt instead. As for the gems in it, we have Blade Trap of Laceration linked to Awakened Unbound Ailments, Volatility, Awakened Brutality, Awakened Deadly Ailments, and Trap and Mind Support. Awakened Unbound Ailments is very crucial here, as it provides the majority of increased ailment duration to counteract the faster bleeding. Next, let's talk about our weapon. It is a very high physical damage, Elder-influenced Reaver Axe, which also grants Culling Strike against bleeding enemies and a lot of damage over time multiplier. Crafting this kind of weapon is a very costly maneuver, so if you want to craft something similar on a budget, check out my axe crafting guide. As for the gems in it, we have Crushing Fist and Eviscerate linked to Fortify support. Fortify support is quite crucial here, as it is the only way to get Fortify in this build. After that, let's talk about our Crusader and Shaper-influenced shield, which grants us a lot of life recovery whenever we block, has a chance to shock attackers on block, and increases our damage based on block chance. Lastly, it grants us some life and has beast-crafted Aspect of the Cat on it. As for the gems in it, we have Herald of Purity, Swift Affliction support, and Less Duration support. Swift Affliction and Less Duration are very crucial here, as they directly affect the Aspect of the Cat duration cycles, allowing us to keep maximum affliction and endurance charges all the time. Make sure Herald of Purity is not linked to any of these supports. Next, let's talk about our boots. Ralakesh's Impatience grants us the benefit of having maximum frenzy charges all the time, on top of giving us some resistances and immunity to corrupted blood. As for the gems in them, we have Shield Charge and Immortal Call linked to Life Tap support, and Shield Charge is also linked to faster attack support. Immortal Call is crucial here, as it consumes up to 5 of our endurance charges to grant us a lot of temporary defense, allowing us to tank big hits like Maven's Cascade of Pain or Shaper's Slam. After that, let's talk about our helmet. Usurper's Penance grants us a lot of damage over time multiplier and faster bleeding based on frenzy charges. It is also corrupted with a modifier that reduces the mana reservation of equipped skills. As for the gems in it, we have Purity of Elements, Malevolence, and Summon Skitterbots linked to Enlighten support. Purity of Elements is very crucial here, as it is the only source of ailment immunity in the build, and is also needed to cap our resistances. Next, let's talk about our gloves. Hands of the High Templar grant us a bunch of resistances, increased maximum life, and has very interesting corrupts. Out of all the corrupts, the most important are +1 maximum frenzy charge and vulnerability on hit. As for the gems in them, we have Enduring Cry and Dash linked to Life Tap and Second Wind support. Second Wind is crucial here, as it grants 2 charges for both Enduring Cry and Dash. After that, let's talk about our jewelry, starting with our belt. Elisa's Delight grants us +1 to maximum frenzy charge, and also converts all our frenzy charges to affliction charges, granting us more bleed damage and much stronger shock on block. After that, let's talk about our amulet. Strangle Grasp is anointed with Fervor, Frenetic, Safeguard, and Sovereignty, giving us +2 to maximum frenzy charges, increased maximum spell block chance, and reduced mana reservation. Lastly, let's talk about our rings. In one slot, we have equipped a synthesized ring, which grants us +1 to maximum frenzy charge. Its explicits give us attributes, life, physical damage, and damage over time multiplier. This kind of ring can be crazy expensive, so my suggestion is to use a Circle of Guilt iron ring for increased physical damage while affected by Herald of Purity, with frenzy charge in the implicit instead. In the other slot, I have equipped Calandra's Touch to replicate all the stats of the Frenzy Ring. Now that you have seen my gems and equipment, let's take a look at the gems and equipment of our Mercenary. Our Mercenary is a Strength and Dexterity Swiftblade who runs Pride Aura, causing nearby enemies to take a lot more physical damage, and uses Rallying Cry, giving us a lot of flat physical damage. And to take full advantage of this, I have given him a very high damage Elder Axe, resulting in a massive boost to our overall damage. Now, since he uses Pride, I have equipped him with a belt, body armor, and glove enchant to massively increase the effect of the Pride aura. Most of his gear also has modifiers that improve the effect of Rallying Cry, allowing us to gain even more flat physical damage from it. Lastly, his gloves are corrupted with the temporal chains on hit modifier to increase the bleed duration on our target, and to make sure that this curse does not interfere with our vulnerability curse, I have given him the Dodri ring to increase his curse limit. Overall, this is the breakdown of what the Mercenary adds to our build. For this build, I am using 2 8-passive large cluster jewels to allocate battle-hardened and master the fundamentals, and an additional node to skip and allocate the jewel sockets, in which I've put 3 medium cluster jewels for guerrilla tactics and set and forget. These medium cluster jewels also have the combo for forbidden flesh and flame jewels to allocate masterful form from Slayer, as well as a Watcher's Eye for purity of elements and malevolence. For the 4th jewel, I have socketed a Megalomaniac jewel which allows me to allocate guerrilla tactics, exploit weakness, and set and forget. After that, I have socketed a Light of Meaning physical jewel near stamina, which provides me with a lot of increased physical damage. Next, we have a very large Thread of Hope near savagery to allocate Disciple of Unyielding, Disciple of Slaughter, Testudo, and Spirit of War. After that, we have an Impossible Escape jewel for Supreme Ego to allocate Replenishing Remedies, Charisma, and 2 other small nodes. Following that, we have a rare jewel which provides us with a lot of bleeding damage and increased maximum life. Now for the masteries in the skill tree, we have taken Bleed Mastery for damage over time, Multiplier based on endurance charges, Axe Mastery for faster bleeding, Mana Mastery for increased mana reservation, Block Mastery for increased maximum block chance, Damage over time, Mastery for less damage over time taken, and lastly, Physical Mastery for more physical damage. On top of these, I am using 2 rune grafts, one for buff and debuff duration, and the other for additional support gem levels. For Ascendancy nodes, we take Gratuitous Violence upon finishing the normal labyrinth, which provides us with bleed explosions. Then, after finishing the Cruel Labyrinth, we take Jagged Technique, which causes any bleeding we inflict to be aggravated. After that, we take Determined Survivor, which will set our base block chance to 50%. Lastly, we take the More Than Skill node, which grants us Lucky Block, greatly improving our block chance if we have blocked recently. As for Pantheon, we take Soul of Arakali as our major god, which provides reduced debuff duration and reduced damage over time. For our minor god, we take Soul of Ralakesh to take no extra damage from bleeding while moving. You can find the POB for the leveling, budget, and current versions of the build in the link in the video description below. If you enjoy these ridiculous off-meta trash builds, make sure to like, subscribe, and bleed that notification bell dry to stay updated on whatever dumb creation I cook up next. If you want to stay even more in the loop, consider joining our Discord server or following me on Twitch. As always, thanks for watching Exile. But before we wrap up, here's a glimpse of another absurd off-meta build I've been cooking up.